Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Nerdy Movie News Roundup, the show where we round up all the latest news in the world of nerdy movies. Honestly, not that many stories to talk about this week, but we're gonna do it anyways, and it'll probably be a shorter video, but who cares? All right, so first up, there was a trailer for Loki Season 2. I thought that this trailer was pretty good. It wasn't great. I'm not a huge fan of the first season either, so this really just isn't my favorite show overall. I thought the first season was a little boring, a little meandering. I didn't find the ending to be particularly satisfying because they do the thing that they also did in Hawkeye where they just waited until the last episode to have their villain instead of him being a major presence throughout the entire season. I just find that to be annoying. But this looks better. It seems like they have like a proper direction that they're going down up front. Hopefully early on they're going to establish Kang as the villain and all of that, and I think that them trying to somehow fix the timeline, which is what was established in this trailer, is like the driving force of the series. Hopefully it'll be a bit more focused. And just the other interesting thing to note about this is that they don't prominently feature him, but they straight up show Jonathan Majors. So it seems like Marvel is somewhat making a bet on Jonathan Majors not being guilty of his charges. Although, to be fair, there's really so much that you can do when it comes to not showing a major character in your series. So I don't know that we necessarily can draw any definitive conclusions from that, but it's just interesting to point out. So overall, the trailer is good, not great. All right, first story of the day. Disney is going to stop selling DVDs in Australia. So this is coming from comicbook.com. One of Hollywood's biggest studios is pulling its physical media presence out of an international market entirely. Australians hoping to get their hands on Disney releases on either DVDs or Blu-rays will soon be out of luck. According to 7 News Australia, the House of Mouse is stopping its physical media presence in the land down under after copies of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 hit stores. After Guardians hit stores in August, no further releases from Disney-owned studios will be available for purchase in the country, which insiders suggest is because of rapidly dwindling sales numbers. I can't say that this is all that surprising, but I mean, it is unfortunate. Now listen, I am not by any means a physical media enjoyer. I haven't owned a DVD player in years, so I have participated in the downfall of physical media, but it can't just be, it has to be said that in this age of streaming where these major studios are just Thanos snapping like series and shows and movies off of their streaming services and they're just not available anywhere, there's no doubt that physical media has its place still even today. And yeah, the fact that Australians are never going to get any more Disney movies on physical is super unfortunate. So we'll have to, I guess, just pirate everything. To be fair, that is the obvious reason or the obvious solution here, but it's not an official solution. But yeah, let's move on to the next story. Next up, it looks like the DCU is going to have animated movies. So this is on Threads, which is the not Twitter social media platform that hasn't gained any traction. Some guy asked James Gunn on there, but can we expect theatrical animated projects for the universe in the future or nah? And then James Gunn says yes. So yeah, it seems like we will get theatrical animated movies in the DCU. And I was trying to think of like what properties would be good, and honestly, the one that my mind just instantly goes to is Batman Beyond. I feel like Batman Beyond is a perfect candidate for animation. I think that it is sort of separate enough from the mainline DCU. I mean, it could be an Elseworlds movie. It also could not be, depending on how they go about it. And I think that could be a really cool animated movie, because if you were to do that live action, it would be insanely expensive. So that's where my mind goes to, but I will have to wait and see what they actually end up doing. All right. Next up, not a movie or TV show thing, but I kind of just wanted to talk about the Switch 2 rumors because I feel like it, and it's my show, and you can suck my dick. Okay, that's coming from VGC. Development kits for Nintendo's next console are now with key partner studios, with launch planned for next year. Sources have told VGC, according to multiple people with knowledge of Nintendo's next-gen console plans, the company is likely to release new hardware during the second half of 2024 to ensure that it has ample stock available on day one and to avoid the kind of shortages seen with PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Although specific details on the console are being kept closely guarded, those VGC spoke to indicated that the next-gen console would be able to be used in portable mode similar to the Nintendo Switch. Two sources VGC spoke to suggested that the console could launch with an LCD screen instead of the more premium OLED in order to bring down costs, especially considering the increased storage needed for higher fidelity games. The current Switch comes with just 32 gigabytes of internal memory, while many current-gen PlayStation and Xbox games are over 100 gigabytes. So that's just a bunch of random information. And I have to say, I am glad that it's being reported that it's going to be a portable console. You might be thinking that, well, obviously, but the Nintendo's next console very well could have been some wackadoodle nonsense where they're trying to innovate or whatever. This is Nintendo that we're speaking about. Okay, they went from the GameCube to the Wii. We very well could have not gotten a Switch 2. But I'm glad that it's portable. And my big question is exactly how powerful is it going to be? Because now that we have devices like the Steam Deck and all of these like computer handheld things, it's like I've been kind of thinking that, okay, it's probably going to just be something that's about as powerful as like PS4s and Xbox Ones. But when you look at the market of handhelds today, these handheld consoles can play modern and next-gen games, right? I mean, they play them at like 720p and 30 FPS, but they can play them. So I don't know. I'd love to see them just take an insane leap and compete with things like the Steam Deck or whatever. But the thing about the Switch as well and Nintendo consoles is that they probably don't want to charge too much for them. Like they probably don't want to charge more than like $400-$500 for the console. So, and I don't think we can necessarily keep our expectations too high. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, listen, there's no doubt about it that the Switch is on its last breath. Like, I will be buying the Batman Arkham collection, but I am anticipating playing Batman Arkham Knight at like 2 FPS at 480p. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right, next up, it looks like a Wonder Woman 3 with Gal Gadot is in development. It's coming from comicbook.com. Speaking of comicbook.com's Chris Killian for her new Netflix movie Heart of Stone before the SAG-AFTRA strike, Gadot said that as she understands it, she will be developing Wonder Woman 3 together with Gunn and Safran. I love portraying Wonder Woman, Gadot says. It's so close to and dear to my heart. From what I heard from James and from Peter is that we're going to develop a Wonder Woman 3 together. So it should be noted that this was an interview recorded before the SAG-AFTRA strike, so this is somewhat outdated news, or at the very least she said this probably like a few months ago. Here's the thing about this. First of all, and I just have to say it, I don't really like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman because Gal Gadot is not a good actress. Like, I'm sorry, but like one of the main things that got me excited about a new DCU was the idea of seeing a good actress play Wonder Woman. It's like, this is Wonder Woman that we're talking about. I feel like we should get a really good performer in the role. So that's just my pet peeve, first of all. Second of all, with this DCU is supposed to be a reboot to some extent, or like a reset. And I was already kind of annoyed at what James Gunn and Peter Safran were doing when, we heard that Amanda Waller was coming back. Viola Davis is Amanda Waller. She's getting a new series in the DCU. The fact that we're getting a Peacemaker season 2 in the DCU. But that was already kind of annoying because it was James Gunn very much picking his favorites. With Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, it's like you can get away with a Peacemaker and an Amanda Waller crossing over because those are fairly niche characters. Seeing Gal Gadot standing next to David Cornsweet's Superman and then whoever new guy they get to play Batman, it's just going to feel weird. And we're living in an age where general audiences are sick of the DCEU. I'm sorry, but they are, right? When you look at the box office returns of most recent DC movies, it reflects that, right? Putting Henry Cavill's Superman in Black Adam did not make that movie successful. Putting Ben Affleck's Batman in The Flash did not make this movie successful. Putting Gal Gadot in Shazam did not make that movie successful. General audiences do not care about the DCEU, and I think that when they see Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, when they see Henry Cavill's Superman, when they see Ben Affleck's Batman, that's to them, that's telling them that, oh, this is the old stuff. I don't really care about this anymore. Not that Black Adam or Shazam or maybe even The Flash would have like been super successful without them in it, but I don't think you can deny that them being in it didn't help. So I don't know. I don't know if general audiences will necessarily be able to get on board with a new universe that, in their eyes, is still tied into the old one because you're bringing over Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I don't know. It's just weird. And I really just wanted a good actress in the role moving forward. But I guess it also should be stressed that this is just something that Gal Gadot said. Maybe we can hope. Maybe she's going on like a psychotic episode and she's just lying. Maybe. James Gunn and Peter Safran, they haven't come out and confirmed this. So there's that. Also another possibility, this could be an Elseworlds movie. We don't actually know, right? She doesn't actually say that it's in the DCU. So that is possible. I still think it would be weird. I don't know that you should do that, but it is possible. So we will see. All right, next up. Going back to Loki Season 2, the trailer is actually the highest viewed Disney Plus show trailer. So let's just read this here from Comic Book. On Tuesday, Marvel Studios announced that the first Season 2 trailer for Loki has become the most watched trailer for a Disney Plus show, with a total of 80 million views in the first 24 hours. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, the narrative has been that the MCU is dead, blah, blah, blah. But I was just reading this. I'm like, okay, I guess the MCU has a little bit of life left in it. But listen, this season has to be good. It has to be. Because I have to wonder that, like, for a lot of people, this is probably like one of the last vestiges of them being interested in the MCU. So it's like, if Loki Season 2 ends up being bad with this much interest, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I don't know. It also should be noted that I am in the minority when I didn't like the first season. So we'll see. All right. Next up, this is our last story of the day. It's like some Fantastic Forecasting. So there has been so many rumors flying around. It seems like most or a lot of those rumors weren't actually verified by like super reputable sources. So I'm only going to talk about 2 Fantastic Forecastings. Once some of the other rumors become like, or if they become confirmed to some capacity, then I'll cover them at some other time. But for now, I'm only going to talk about 2. All right, this is coming from comicbook.com. Marvel's Fantastic Four reboot is reportedly coming down to some official casting decisions. A new episode of The Hot Mic has reported the scoops that Mission Impossible actress Vanessa Kirby is upwards of 95% confirmed to play Sue Storm, aka the Invisible Woman, while Stranger Things star Joseph Quinn is about 80 to 90% confirmed to be playing Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch. Jeff Schneider claims that Vanessa Kirby is the one that Marvel Studios is building the film around, having landed her first. So this is Vanessa Kirby. She was in the last Mission Impossible movie. She was also Jason Statham's sister in Hobbs and Shaw. I believe she's been in like Oscar nominated stuff, but who cares about that? What am I, some loser that watches indie movies? Okay. I'm into that Hobbs and Shaw, Fast and the Furious presents. But no, she's really good. So I'd totally be fine with her playing Sue Storm. She's obviously a blonde white woman, so that fits, I guess. And then Joseph Quinn, this is him. He was in Stranger Things Season 4. He played the leader of the Dungeons and Dragons Club. Remember when he played the guitar in the Upside Down? It's that guy. I mean, yeah, I think he'd probably be a good Johnny Storm. He's handsome enough. He can probably act like a douchebag. I have no doubt about it. I will say though, they're coming off of Chris Evans and Michael B. Jordan. I'm just saying, my boy's got to get in the gym. Okay, I need that 6-pack. Okay, I need inject him with all of the steroids, Disney. Okay, so I'm just saying that's what we're coming off of. But yeah, I'd be totally fine with either of these. But yeah, and then I always like to reiterate that I don't get too invested in castings. It's like, if you get a good actress or actor, it's probably fine. It's like when people were like super like Superman has to be David Cornsweet or it has to be David Holt, and I will not accept anybody else. Or like Superman has to be Henry Cavill. I'm like, guys, it's there. If you get a good actor in the role, they work well with the director and they have good chemistry. It's like it'll be fine. So that was kind of how I view those things. But yeah, we'll see. Because obviously that was reported by the Hot Mic podcast. They are pretty reputable. So we'll obviously have to wait until Marvel confirms it themselves. But for now, that's about it for Nerdy Movie News Roundup. Let me know what you think about any or all of those stories down in the comments below. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.